A House of Dynamite is a type of movie that captures your interest from the opening shot. A narrative packed with governmental pressure, deceit, and ethical quandaries. Noah's newest political thriller has made audiences both mesmerized and baffled, above all with its blasting finale. In this video, we're going to dissect the conclusion of A House of Dynamite, delve into what it truly signifies, and consider whether a follow-up might already be in development. So let's jump straight in and decipher the narrative behind this political juggernaut. At its heart, A House of Dynamite is about the erosion of faith within power structures. The movie tracks Daniel Cross, a political consultant whose aspiration to overhaul a dishonest administration slowly morphs into a fixation that devours him. What starts as a quest for fairness becomes a perilous contest of maneuvering, hidden truths, and retribution. All through the picture, we observe as Daniel's ethical guidance fails under the strain of authority and treachery. The pivotal moment arrives when Daniel discovers that the very individuals financing his reform crusade are the same figures masterminding the corruption he's battling. This disclosure compels him to devise a bold scheme to unmask them using their own web of lies. But his strategy escalates beyond management, leading to turmoil, ruin, and a startling sequence of happenings that define the concluding act. In the last scenes, the suspense mounts as Daniel's scheme starts to fall apart. His reliable confidant, reporter Llaya Warren, realizes the full scope of his scheming. When she challenges him, reality hits hard. Daniel had released untrue reports to spark civil disturbance, hoping it would compel transformation via disorder. But instead of improvement, it results in carnage. The high point occurs when Daniel is trapped in the same building where the administration once held confidential gatherings, now an emblem of the very dishonesty he tried to eliminate. Encircled by proof of his own trickery, he understands that his mission has turned him into the fiend he detested. As blasts detonate around him, Daniel murmurs the eerie phrase that encapsulates the movie. "It's not the structure that's fractured, it's us." This last scene is rich with symbolic meaning. The blast symbolizes not just the physical devastation of a crooked regime, but also the disintegration of Daniel's self. The name, A House of Dynamite, becomes complete. The building represents the shaky groundwork of political influence founded on falsehoods, and the explosive signifies the reality that can obliterate it. But it also poses a more profound inquiry. Can reality and fairness endure in a reality constructed on deceit? The vagueness of the conclusion has left supporters arguing about whether Daniel endured the blast. The last scene shows a hint of activity in the inferno, implying that he might have gotten away. Noah, the movie's creator, has remained enigmatic in conversations, stating only that some structures burn down, but some people learn how to walk through fire. This has stirred conjecture that Daniel could come back if a follow-up is produced. There are also concealed hints distributed all over the movie that allude to a bigger narrative. In one initial scene, Llaya references an enigmatic character identified only as the architect, thought to be the planner behind the civil disturbance. Although we never witness this individual, a dark outline appears briefly in the closing credits, suggesting that the story might not be finished. Many supporters think the architect could become the main character in a continuation, revealing that Daniel's demise was part of a far grander scheme. In terms of its theme, A House of Dynamite examines how principled beliefs can turn into fanaticism when authority and fear clash. Daniel's change from reformer to schemer reflects the very establishments he tried to take apart. The picture doesn't portray distinct good guys or bad guys. Instead, it shows how even noble intentions can be exploited in the wrong hands. This ethical ambiguity is what makes the narrative so engaging and makes the audience ponder long after the credits finish. Now, let's talk about the likelihood of a sequel. Noah's latest remarks during a cinema festival question-and-answer session implied that the universe of A House of Dynamite might continue. He described the ending as an explosion, not an end, suggesting that the story's repercussions will have consequences worth examining. Sources within the industry have stated that preliminary discussions for a follow-up have already commenced, possibly titled After the Fire. This speculated continuation could investigate the repercussions of the blast, the emergence of new influential figures, and the ethical fallout of Daniel's actions. If a sequel does materialize, it could redirect attention toward Llaya Warren, the journalist who survived the occurrences of the first picture. Her ethical struggle to reveal the reality while grappling with her involvement in Daniel's dishonesty could serve as a compelling sequel. Furthermore, bringing in the architect as a main villain would open new governmental and mental dimensions to the narrative. Another noteworthy point that fuels sequel rumors is the movie's last line spoken. After the blast, a garbled radio message can be heard saying, "The house is gone, but the groundwork remains." This enigmatic communication suggests that dishonesty and influence are circular. Destroying one version of it only leads to another replacing it. It's an unsettling thought that the structure itself is never truly gone. From a critical perspective, A House of Dynamite has been acclaimed for its clever script, intricate personalities, and suspenseful rhythm. Critics have likened it to political suspense films like All the President's Men and The Constant Gardener, but with a more profound mental turn. Noah's filmmaking counterweights authenticity with metaphorical narrative, making each scene feel full of underlying meaning and passion. The camera work, filled with harsh illumination, tight shots, and gradually building suspense, perfectly conveys the atmosphere of suspicion that defines a movie. From a narrative viewpoint, the conclusion of A House of Dynamite functions as both an end and a fresh start. It concludes Daniel's individual journey, but leaves the world around him broken, volatile, and full of unresolved mysteries. Whether the story continues in a follow-up or remains an independent work of art, its theme is still impactful. When reality is used as a tool, everyone is affected negatively. So will there be a sequel? While nothing has been formally announced, every indication suggests it. Between Noah's mysterious conversations, the unexplained puzzles in the movie, and the increasing audience desire, it seems highly probable that A House of Dynamite is just the initial part in a much bigger narrative about influence, dishonesty, and the human toll of uprising. Until we get an announcement, one thing is for sure. A House of Dynamite has already established itself as one of the most stimulating political suspense films of the decade. Its volatile climax leaves us pondering the essence of fairness, the vulnerability of authority, and whether reality can endure in a world constructed on falsehoods. If a sequel is coming soon, supporters can anticipate even greater risks, new personalities, and a more thorough exploration of the governmental plots that are hidden underneath. But for now, the movie's last picture, a glimmer of flames against a falling edifice, serves as a reminder that sometimes the only way to reconstruct is to first allow everything to be destroyed.